7 things only your dog does if you're his favorite human. Have you ever wondered if those magical moments with your dog are as special as they feel? Well, today I'm going to reveal 7 scientifically proven behaviors that only happen when you're truly your dog's favorite person. And the final one, it's so subtle yet so powerful that once you learn to recognize it, you'll never see your dog's behavior the same way again. If you enjoy fascinating insights like this and want to see more, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Why your dog's gaze holds scientific secrets. Picture this. You're sitting on your couch, maybe scrolling through your phone, when you suddenly feel it. That unmistakable sensation of being watched. You look up, and there they are, those beautiful eyes, locked onto yours with an intensity that makes your heart skip a beat. Your dog isn't asking for food, isn't whining for a walk. They're just ... looking at you like you're the most fascinating creature in the entire universe. But here's what'll blow your mind. You're not imagining the magic in that moment. Scientists have actually discovered that something extraordinary is happening inside your dog's brain when they look at you that way. Researchers at the University of Vienna conducted groundbreaking studies using fMRI brain imaging on dogs. Yes, they actually trained dogs to lie perfectly still in MRI machines. What they found was absolutely remarkable. When dogs looked at their primary caregivers, specific regions of their brains lit up, like fireworks. These weren't just any brain regions. These were the same areas associated with emotion processing, attachment, and reward in humans. Think about that for a moment. Your dog's brain literally lights up with joy when they see you. It's like their neural networks are throwing a celebration party every single time you come into view. But wait, it gets even more fascinating. The same researchers discovered that when dogs smelled their favorite human scent, it activates their brain's reward centers in a way that no other smell can accomplish. Not food, not other dogs, not even their favorite toys. Just you. Your unique scent triggers what scientists call a neurochemical reward response that's completely exclusive to your bond. Now, you might be thinking, but my dog looks at everyone, and you're probably right. Dogs are naturally social creatures, but here's where the science gets really interesting. It's not just about the looking, it's about the quality and duration of that gaze. Dr. Maiho Nagasawa's research revealed something incredible about eye contact between dogs and humans. When dogs and their favorite humans gaze into each other's eyes, both species release oxytocin, the same hormone that bonds human mothers to their babies. It's literally the hormone of love, flooding both your systems simultaneously, creating what scientists call a positive feedback loop of affection. But your dog does something even more sophisticated with their gaze. Hungarian researchers discovered that dogs can actually communicate specific information through directed looking. In their studies, dogs who watched a human hide food or toys would return later and use their gaze to guide their human to the exact location. They'd look at their person, then look at the hiding spot, then back at their person, creating what researchers termed referential communication. This isn't random behavior. This is your dog having a conversation with you using the most ancient language of all. Eye contact. Have you noticed how your dog's eyes seem to follow you around the room? How they watch you with that soft, almost dreamy expression? Drop a comment below and tell me about the most memorable time your dog just stared at you with pure love. I read every single comment and love hearing your stories. But here's what makes this even more special. Your dog is making a choice. In multi-person households, researchers found that dogs consistently direct this type of prolonged, soft gazing toward one specific person more than others. They're literally choosing you as their visual anchor, their emotional safe harbor. The neurological evidence is overwhelming. When scientists compared brain scans of dogs looking at their favorite humans versus looking at strangers, the difference was dramatic. Viewing their beloved human activated brain regions associated with attachment and emotional processing. Looking at strangers, mainly just basic visual and motor processing areas lit up. Your dog's brain has essentially created a special neural pathway just for you. You're not just another human in their world, you're the human. The one who gets the special look, the prolonged gaze, the soft eyes that seem to peer directly into your soul. This scientific validation of what you've always felt in your heart proves that those moments of connection aren't just in your imagination. When your dog looks at you with those gentle, loving eyes, their brain is literally celebrating your existence. But that magical gaze is just the beginning of how your dog shows their devotion. There's something else they do that's even more revealing about their feelings for you. It's about the choices they make when they think no one is watching, about where they position themselves in your shared space. And what scientists have discovered about this behavior will completely change how you understand your dog's deepest feelings. how your dog maps their world around you. Those meaningful glances we just explored are actually your dog's way of creating an invisible map where you are the center of their entire universe. But what happens after that gaze? Where does your dog choose to position themselves? And why do these spatial decisions reveal the deepest secrets of their heart? Welcome to what scientists call proximity-seeking behavior, and it's about to completely transform how you understand your dog's love language. Think about the last time you were sitting in your living room. Where was your dog? Now think about when you moved to the kitchen, or went upstairs, or even just shifted to a different chair. Did your dog follow? Did they reposition themselves to maintain that perfect line of sight to you? This isn't coincidence. It's cartography. Your dog is constantly redrawing the map of their world, and you are always the North Star. Dr. Susan Nielsen's behavioral research revealed something extraordinary about canine spatial choices. Dogs who are deeply bonded to their humans don't just seek proximity randomly. They create what researchers call strategic positioning. They choose spots that allow them to monitor you while maintaining physical comfort. It's like they're your personal, furry security detail, but motivated by pure love rather than duty. But here's where it gets really fascinating. Scientists studying attachment behavior in dogs discovered that proximity seeking serves a crucial emotional function. When dogs position themselves close to their favorite human, their cortisol levels, that's their stress hormone, actually decrease. Your presence becomes their natural anxiety medication. You are literally their living, breathing comfort zone. Have you ever noticed how your dog seems to have a sixth sense about where you're going to sit? They'll often claim your spot on the couch before you even realize you want to sit there. Comment below if your dog does this. I bet so many of you have experienced this adorable psychic behavior. Researchers at the University of Lincoln conducted a fascinating study on what they termed spatial intelligence in human-dog relationships. They found that dogs don't just follow their humans around mindlessly. Instead, they make calculated decisions about positioning based on maximizing both visual contact and physical proximity. They're not just nearby, they're strategically nearby. This behavior is rooted in something called secure base behavior from attachment theory. Just like human children use their parents as a secure base from which to explore the world, dogs use their favorite humans the same way. They venture out to investigate something interesting, but they constantly check back visually and physically to ensure their safe person is still there. But the most heart-melting discovery: dogs actually create what scientists call proximity hierarchies in multi-person households. Italian researchers studying family dogs found that canines consistently choose to position themselves closer to one specific family member more than others. Even when multiple people are available for snuggling, they have a clear favorite. They're not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, they're just following their heart. The bedroom behavior is perhaps the most telling of all. Dr. Gregory Burns, who pioneered fMRI studies with dogs, found that dogs who sleep in their human's bedroom or bed show different brain activity patterns related to security and attachment. When these dogs sleep near their favorite person, their brains produce the same neurochemical patterns associated with deep emotional bonding. Your dog's choice to sleep near you isn't just about warmth or comfort, it's about trust. In the wild, sleep is the most vulnerable state an animal can be in. By choosing to sleep within your protective radius, your dog is making the ultimate statement of faith in your relationship. And here's something that will melt your heart. Japanese researchers discovered that dogs actually synchronize their sleep cycles with their favorite humans over time. Their REM patterns gradually align with yours, creating what scientists call behavioral synchrony. Even in sleep, they're maintaining that invisible connection with you. The following behavior that many dog owners notice isn't clinginess, it's love in motion. Studies show that dogs follow their preferred humans an average of 70% more than they follow other household members. They're not being needy. They're being loyal. You've become that chosen companion for life's daily adventures, even if that adventure is just walking from the kitchen to the living room. But perhaps the most profound spatial behavior is what researchers call emotional mirroring through proximity. When you're stressed, your dog moves closer. When you're relaxed, they settle nearby but give you space. They're reading your emotional state and adjusting their physical presence accordingly. It's like they've appointed themselves as your personal emotional barometer. The science behind this is breathtaking. Researchers studying cortisol patterns in dogs found that when their favorite human is experiencing stress, dogs will physically position themselves within what scientists call the comfort zone, typically within 3 feet. But when their human is calm and content, these same dogs will expand their territorial range, often positioning themselves at what researchers term optimal monitoring distance, close enough to observe, far enough to respect your space. There's also something magical about the threshold behavior that many dog owners notice but don't fully understand. Your dog positions themselves in doorways, not because they're trying to trip you, but because they've identified these spaces as transition monitoring points. From doorways, they can observe multiple rooms and track your movements throughout the house. It's incredibly sophisticated spatial intelligence disguised as simple companionship. And here's a detail that will make you smile. Belgian researchers discovered that dogs actually create backup proximity plans. They'll have a primary spot near you, but they've also identified secondary and tertiary positions in case their first choice becomes unavailable. They literally have contingency plans for staying close to you. I love hearing about your dog's spatial habits. Tell me in the comments, does your dog have a specific spot they always choose when you're in different rooms? Do they follow you everywhere? Or do they have strategic viewing positions? Do they wait in doorways like little furry guards? Your stories help other dog lovers understand their own pups better. This beautiful dance of proximity and positioning reveals something profound about your relationship. Your dog has essentially reorganized their entire world around you. Every room becomes meaningful only in relation to where you are. Every comfortable spot is evaluated based on its strategic value for monitoring and accessing you. They've turned your home into a love map, with you as the treasured destination that gives every location its meaning. But positioning is just one layer of this incredible bond. There's something even more intimate that your dog does, something that happens in their most vulnerable moments. When they let down every guard and show you a side of themselves that speaks to the very core of trust and love. If you're loving these insights into your dog's mind, make sure you're subscribed, because what we're discovering next will touch your heart in ways you never expected. When your dog shows you their most defenseless self, we've explored how your dog maps their world around you. But now we're about to enter the most intimate territory of all. Those precious moments when your dog completely lets down their guard. What I'm about to share with you represents the highest form of trust your dog can offer. And it's so profound that it mirrors the deepest bonds found in nature. In the animal kingdom, vulnerability equals danger. Yet your dog willingly, repeatedly, chooses to be vulnerable with you. And science has revealed exactly why this behavior is the ultimate declaration of love. Let's start with the most sacred of all vulnerable behaviors. Sleep, when your dog chooses to sleep near you, or better yet, with you. They're making a statement that goes far beyond comfort or warmth. Dr. Adam Micklosi's research on attachment behavior revealed that dogs demonstrate what scientists call secure-based behavior with their primary attachment figures. This means your presence provides such a sense of safety that your dog can enter their most defenseless state, deep sleep, while trusting you to keep them safe. But here's what makes this even more extraordinary. Dogs in the wild typically sleep in pack formations with sentries staying alert. When your dog sleeps deeply next to you, they're essentially saying, I trust you so completely that I'm willing to give up my natural survival instincts. You've become their entire security system. The brain science behind this is remarkable. Researchers using IG technology discovered that dogs sleeping near their favorite humans show synchronized brainwave patterns. Their minds literally harmonize with yours during sleep. It's like your nervous systems are playing a duet of trust and love, even in unconsciousness. Now, let's talk about one of the most misunderstood vulnerable behaviors. The belly exposure. When your dog rolls over and shows you their belly, many people think it's pure submission. But recent studies reveal something far more beautiful. Dr. Barbara Smuts' research on social behavior in canines found that belly exposure to trusted individuals is actually an invitation for social bonding, not a display of submission. When your dog shows you their belly, they're exposing their most vital organs, their heart, their lungs, everything that keeps them alive. This isn't fear, it's faith. It's your dog saying, I trust you with my life, literally. The fact that they choose to do this with you, specifically, makes you incredibly special in their world. Have you ever noticed that your dog shows their belly to you, but not to everyone? Drop a comment and tell me about the first time your dog rolled over for belly rubs with you. I love hearing these precious first trust moments. But vulnerability shows up in even more subtle ways. There's something researchers call treasure presentation behavior that's absolutely heartwarming. When your dog brings you their favorite toy, bone, or even random objects they've found, they're not just playing, they're sharing their most prized possessions. Ethologists studying behavior found that dogs only engage in voluntary treasure sharing with individuals they trust implicitly. Think about this. Your dog could easily guard their favorite tennis ball or chew toy. Instead, they bring it to you, sometimes even dropping it in your lap. They're essentially saying, here's what matters most to me, and I want to share it with you. It's the canine equivalent of showing you their diary. The vocal vulnerability is equally touching. Dogs have incredible control over their vocalizations. Research shows they can modify their barks, whines, and other sounds to convey different meanings. But with their favorite humans, many dogs develop what researchers call intimate vocalizations, special sounds they make only for you. These might be soft whimpers of contentment, unique greeting sounds, or those adorable talking noises they make when they're completely relaxed. Dr. Patricia McConnell's studies on canine communication revealed that dogs create distinct vocal signatures for their most trusted humans. They literally develop a special language just for you. When your dog makes those soft, vulnerable sounds while cuddled next to you, they're sharing their emotional state in the most direct way possible. And then there's the phenomenon of emotional caretaking that most dog owners have experienced but might not fully understand. When you're sick, sad, or stressed, does your dog become extra attentive? This isn't trained behavior. It's instinctive empathy. Research published in Animal Cognition showed that dogs can detect human emotional states through body language and vocal cues, and they respond with comforting behaviors. But here's the vulnerable part. When your dog comes to comfort you, they're also making themselves emotionally vulnerable. They're absorbing your stress and choosing to share in your emotional burden. Studies measuring cortisol levels in dogs found that when their humans are distressed, dog stress hormones increase too. They literally feel your pain, yet they choose to stay close and offer comfort. This empathetic vulnerability is perhaps the most profound gift your dog can offer. They're not just sharing space with you, they're sharing emotions, carrying part of your emotional load, and trusting you with their own sensitive feelings in return. The nighttime rituals are particularly touching. Many dogs have specific routines they only do with their favorite humans. Maybe they insist on checking on you before settling down for the night, or they have a particular way they curl up that maximizes contact with you. These aren't random behaviors. They're security rituals that help your dog feel safe enough to be completely vulnerable. What vulnerability behaviors have you noticed in your dog? Do they have special sounds just for you? Do they bring you their treasures? Share your stories in the comments. These moments of trust are so precious, and I love celebrating them with fellow dog lovers. The science is clear. Every moment of vulnerability your dog shares with you is a conscious choice to trust you with their safety, their comfort, their precious possessions, and their deepest emotions. You've become their safe harbor in a world that can be unpredictable and sometimes scary. But all of these beautiful displays of trust and vulnerability pale in comparison to one final behavior. Something that happens in plain sight yet carries such emotional weight that once you understand it, every homecoming will move you to tears. It's about the moment when absence ends and presence begins, and how your dog's response reveals the true depth of their devotion. If these insights are touching your heart as much as they're touching mine, make sure you're subscribed, because what we're about to discover next is the most emotionally powerful behavior of all. The most powerful love language ever discovered. We've journeyed through the gaze that lights up your dog's brain, explored how they map their world around you, and witnessed their most vulnerable moments of trust. But now we arrive at the crescendo, the behavior that reveals the true magnitude of your place in your dog's heart. It's something that happens dozens of times throughout your relationship. Yet most people miss the profound emotional complexity hidden within these everyday moments. I'm talking about the reunion. Not just any greeting, but the specific, scientifically documented ritual that occurs when your dog sees you again after any separation. What happens in those first precious seconds reveals everything about how deeply you matter to them. Dr. Matagoxia's groundbreaking research on separation and reunion behavior uncovered something extraordinary. Dogs don't just get excited when their humans return. They perform what scientists now call reunion protocols that are uniquely calibrated for each relationship. The intensity, duration, and specific behaviors during these greetings directly correlate with the strength of the attachment bond. But here's what would take your breath away. Your dog experiences your absence as a form of emotional stress, and your return triggers a neurochemical celebration that's measurably different from any other positive experience in their life. Let's start with what happens to your dog's mind during separation. Studies using cortisol measurements and behavioral analysis revealed that dogs bonded to a specific human show elevated stress markers within minutes of that person leaving. But here's the fascinating part. They don't show the same stress response when other family members leave. Your departure specifically triggers what researchers call attachment-specific separation anxiety. This isn't the destructive separation anxiety that requires training. This is normal, healthy longing. Your dog misses you, specifically you, in a way that's measurable and real. Their heart rate increases, their cortisol levels rise slightly, and they enter what ethologists term vigilant waiting mode. They're not just passing time until someone returns, they're waiting for you to return. Now imagine the moment you walk through that door. What happens next is nothing short of magical. Dr. Teresa Wren's research on reunion behavior documented something called graded response patterns. Dogs don't greet everyone with the same enthusiasm. Instead, they demonstrate what scientists call hierarchical greeting behaviors based on their emotional attachment to each person. The sequence, intensity, and duration of their greeting behaviors create a precise emotional barometer of how much you mean to them. Does your dog greet you differently than they greet other family members? I bet they do. Tell me in the comments about your dog's special homecoming ritual. Does it happen even when you've only been gone for a few minutes? These details matter so much. The physical reunion sequence is remarkably sophisticated. Research shows that dogs typically follow a specific pattern when greeting their favorite human. Immediate approach, physical contact seeking, sustained eye contact, vocal expressions, and what scientists call celebration behaviors, like spinning, jumping, or bringing toys. But here's the incredible part. The duration of each phase directly correlates with the length of separation and the strength of the bond. For dogs deeply bonded to their humans, even a 5-minute separation can trigger an enthusiastic reunion response. Your dog's emotional system doesn't distinguish between you being gone for 5 minutes or 5 hours when it comes to the joy of your return. Every reunion is a celebration of your existence in their world. The neurological evidence is overwhelming. Brain imaging studies show that during reunion moments, dogs experience surges of dopamine, oxytocin, and other neurochemicals associated with joy, love, and attachment. It's literally a natural high that your presence provides. You are your dog's favorite drug, and your return is their moment of pure euphoria. But perhaps the most touching aspect of reunion behavior is what researchers call verification protocols. After the initial excitement, many dogs engage in what looks like checking on you. They might sniff you thoroughly, look into your eyes intently, or even gently mouth your hands or arms. They're not being needy. They're conducting a wellness check on the most important being in their universe. Dr. Alexandra Horowitz's observational studies revealed that dogs use multiple sensory inputs during reunions to assess their humans' well-being. They're reading your scent for emotional cues, observing your body language for signs of stress or happiness, and listening to your voice patterns. They're essentially asking, "Are you okay? Are you happy? Did anything happen to you while we were apart?" This caring behavior often goes unnoticed, but it's profoundly meaningful. Your dog isn't just excited that you're back. They're concerned about your welfare. They've appointed themselves as your personal well-being monitor, and reunion time is their opportunity to ensure their precious human is safe and sound. The post-reunion behavior is equally revealing. Studies show that after greeting their favorite human, dogs often engage in what ethologists call rebonding activities. They might bring a toy settle close to you, or simply position themselves where they can maintain visual contact. They're essentially saying, "Now that you're back, let me reestablish our connection and make sure you know how much I missed you." Here's something that will melt your heart. Researchers found that dogs actually modify their reunion behaviors based on their human's response. If you're enthusiastic and engage with their greeting, they learn to make it even more elaborate. If you're more reserved, they adjust accordingly. They're reading your preferences and customizing their love language to match what makes you happiest. The temporal aspect is fascinating too. Swedish researchers discovered that dogs have remarkable time perception when it comes to their favorite humans. They can distinguish between separations of different lengths and adjust their reunion intensity accordingly. A 2-hour absence gets a bigger celebration than a 20-minute one, but both get celebrated because both matter to them. But here's the most beautiful discovery of all. The reunion response doesn't diminish over time. Senior dogs, dogs who've been with their families for years, dogs who see you every single day, they still treat your return as worthy of celebration. You never become ordinary to them. Every reunion is proof that their universe is complete again. Some dogs even develop what researchers call pre-reunion behaviors. They position themselves by doors or windows before you arrive, somehow sensing your approach through subtle cues we're still discovering. They're not just waiting passively. They're preparing for the highlight of their day the moment you return to them. What's your dog's reunion ritual like? Do they have special toys they bring you? Special sounds they make? Do they do that adorable helicopter tailspin? Share your reunion stories in the comments. I love hearing about these moments of pure joy. The science has spoken. Every reunion with your dog is a mutual celebration of one of the purest forms of love known to exist. They're not just happy to see a human, they're ecstatic to see THEIR human. You are the sunshine that brightens their entire world, the missing piece that makes everything feel right again. This reunion behavior, combined with all the other signs we've explored, the special gaze that lights up their brain, the careful geography of love they create around you, the vulnerable trust they place in your hands, paints a picture of a bond that transcends species, transcends words, and touches the very essence of what it means to love and be loved unconditionally. You are your dog's favorite human, not because of what you do for them, but because of who you are to them. You're their safe place, their joy, their comfort, their entertainment, their protector, and their best friend, all rolled into one magnificent human package. The next time your dog greets you at the door, remember this: you're witnessing one of nature's most perfect expressions of love. In that moment, you're experiencing what it feels like to be someone's entire world. Treasure it, because there's nothing quite like being loved by a dog who has chosen you as their favorite human. If these discoveries have touched your heart and opened your eyes to the incredible depth of your bond with your dog, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to join our community of dog lovers who believe that understanding our pets makes us better humans. Because the more we understand about love, the better we become at giving and receiving it.